Remember that the first thing to do with an essay is to make sure that you are clear about your ideas. This means that you need to do a little bit of brainstorming about what the main ideas for the body paragraphs are and what supporting points you will suggest to the reader. So let's do a little bit of brainstorming on this question, shall we? The first thing to do is to make sure you are clear about the key words. What are the key words in this question? As you can see, I have highlighted them below. We have extra classes after school hours and improve academic performance. Then we need to take note of the instructions, which refer to the keywords advantages and disadvantages. Therefore, putting all of this together, we need to write about the advantages and disadvantages of extra classes and how extra classes may or may not affect the academic performance of children. At this point, I suggest that you sit down and think a little bit about what your main ideas are yourself. I've done brainstorming myself, of course, to give you this example essay, and here are the ideas that I thought of in answer to the question. For the introduction, we need to begin with a general statement, and we need to state the issue or the problem. Here it is a how question. The main issue is about the goal to improve the academic performance of children. Therefore, the question is, how can we do this? Of course, in the introduction, we also need a thesis statement. The thesis statement here is that the essay will discuss whether outside classes help to achieve this goal or not. After the introduction, it's now time for main paragraph 1. Remember the key words? One of them was advantages, and it is important that in the main idea we discuss the advantages of extra classes and how they can or might help academic performance. That will be the main idea for paragraph 1. And for the supporting points, we need to brainstorm some advantages. Advantage number 1 could be that outside classes offer smaller class sizes. This means more attention from the teacher, which will help the students to learn better. Advantage number 2 is related to the extra time, which allows students to learn a subject wider and deeper. And finally, advantage number 3 might be that outside classes, they are usually run by private companies that have better resources than perhaps government-funded schools might have. These are just some ideas that I brainstormed. Please remember that you can think of other advantages completely different to the ones I have just talked about. That's fine, as long as they are directly connected to the keywords and the main idea of your paragraph. Well, we've looked at main paragraph 1. Can you think what main paragraph 2 is going to be about? Remember the key words? We've just written about the advantages. Now we have to consider the disadvantages of outside classes. Disadvantage number 1 then could be that students have less free time, which means they experience more stress. Disadvantage number 2 could be that the children experience less sleep. If they are going from school to class, they don't have enough time to get rest. And the results of this could be health and psychological issues. Disadvantage number 3 is perhaps that the children get less time to play with others, and this is an important part of a childhood experience. Once again, if you don't agree with these disadvantages, that's fine. Please suggest and think of your own. As long as they are related to the key words of the question, it's fine. We now come to the last paragraph, which is, of course, the conclusion. What is the most important part of the conclusion? Do you remember? Indeed, it must be your opinion. State your opinion clearly. Your opinion could be, yes, the advantages do outweigh the disadvantages. So outside classes definitely help to improve academic performance. On the other hand, your opinion might be no. Outside classes do not help to improve academic performance. And then the third option is a partial agreement. For this opinion, you'd have to write that there are only special circumstances when outside classes do help to improve academic performance. And you'd need to very briefly identify what those assumptions or conditions are. We've now brainstormed some ideas. In the next lesson, let's look at the example and how it has been written. I'll see you there.